top stories tonight. President Tinubu Ramaphosa seeks Nigeria-South Africa strategic partnership. Rowdy session erupts in House of Representatives over tax reform bills. Human rights lawyer Dele Farotimi arrested over defamation allegation. And Namibia elects first female president amid controversy. Thank you for joining us. I'm Felicity Ezewike. Operatives of the Nigerian police have arrested rights activist Dele Farotimi over allegation of defamation. Counsel to the vocal government critic Ralph Nwoke confirms the arrest in an exclusive interview with News Central's correspondent Igbalani Omoniyi. Farotimi's arrest comes after the lawyer had raised concerns over alleged threats to his life by prominent figures in the country.
Farotimi, a prominent government critic and legal practitioner, has been arrested, and his whereabouts are currently unknown. This development comes after several reported attempts to abduct him, including an incident in November. According to Omoyele Shore, an activist who raised the alarm on his X account, Farotimi's arrest is linked to a defamation petition filed against him. News Central visited Farotimi's office, where staff members narrated their ordeal.
Farotimi's office is upstairs, but before you access his office, you need to pass through the security door. So when they came in, they attempted to open the security door, but could not. They had to, maybe you want to see the second back door that they gain entrance to. Yes, you can see. You can see this is the back door. For security reasons, sometimes we don't lock it. So they quickly gain entrance through here and went to his office.
I wanted to came down from the steps, he now just entered from the backyard and hit me. I said I should not talk anything, this and that. He now pointed a gun on me. I was very scared. He now pushed me that I should tell him to direct to our real boss. That is why I just get there. As I just get there, he was slapping me, maltreating me, that let my boss bring his safe, so that if not, they would deal with me here. Then my boss was very scared that he don't want anything to hurt me. He now stand up and say, okay, let them take everything that they need.
They insisted that if we insist on knowing where they're taking him to, they were going to gun us down.
Ralph Nwoke, the managing partner of DF Legal and Farotimi's counsel, has spoken out about the petition and Farotimi's whereabouts. Legal actions are currently underway.
These guys came in and they took all our devices. I have no way of communicating. I don't have any devices.
Including your phone?
Yes, they took my phone. The guy threatened to shoot me. He threatened to shoot me and took my phone and the devices of all my staff. Every one of my staff members. Every staff member here, their devices were taken. Right? Even up to, and I would understand maybe their concern was that maybe somebody's recording or anything, but even the cleaner had what you call the balasa phone. I think that's what they call the button phone. They took it from her.
Well, what will you be doing now as a legal representative?
Yeah, so we're in court, like I said. We're in court. We filed a fundamental human right application before the Lagos State High Court. We are trying to get further information on what has happened today. I don't have a lot of information.
Meanwhile, the Ekiti State Police Command has confirmed the arrest as reported on Showere's X account, but in a twist reaction, Adegoke Fayode, the AIG Zone 2 Lagos, claims he is not aware of the arrest. The incident has sparked concerns, and News Central continues to follow the developing story. In Lagos, for News Central, I am Igbalani Omoniyi.
To discuss this, we're joined now by a legal representation to Dele Farotimi, Ralph Nwoke. Ralph, thank you for joining us. It's been a very, very crazy day for you and your staff. I guess I should just ride off the package by my colleague Igbalani. Have you had your devices returned, and has his current location been confirmed?
Thank you very much for having me. The devices have not been returned, but we've been able to confirm its current location. We have reliable information, and it's presently with the Ekiti State Command, the Ekiti State Police Command. We can confirm that right now.
So has there been any further development since you last spoke to News Central?
Yes. So we have information that presently is with the Ekiti State Police Command. That's the only development that we have, that we know at the moment, that has been taken to Ekiti State. We're trying to get further information. I'm sure by tomorrow morning we'll have clarity as to what is happening. But at the moment, he's being detained at the Ekiti State Police Command.
Okay, you stated earlier that a fundamental human rights case is already in court. When is it slated for hearing? And is Mr. Farotimi going to be held until then?
Well, I cannot speak for the police. But what I can tell you is if the allegation is defamation, then ordinarily that's bearable. So we expect that we should be granted bail by the police, which is the right thing that we should do. They should grant him administrative bail or charge him to court, and then the court will grant him bail. So I'm sure by tomorrow we'll have some clarity as to what's going on. Yes, we have filed a fundamental right application, like I said in my interview. We don't have a date at the moment. I'm sure that tomorrow we're actually pushing for it. It is an urgent matter. We expect that tomorrow or the day after we should be able to have a date so that we can go before court. But at the same time, we don't know what is going to happen in Ekiti State. We don't know if we're charging to court. We don't even have details of the allegations yet. All we've had is just from sources. I expect that by tomorrow there should be a lot more clarity as to what is happening.
All the information you have at the moment, what likely scenarios are you expecting to play out come tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow, first of all, we need to even understand why was he arrested, right? We need to understand that because we've seen all the reports saying defamation and all that, and I'm wondering, if you're arresting someone for defamation, would you come with such force? You're not arresting a terrorist. You're coming in and assaulting people and taking devices away and all that. So we're just wondering, what is this really all about? So we are not very sure as to what is happening at the moment. But we wait. When we have further information tomorrow, it'll be easier to know how this will play out and what is going to happen. And it's very difficult to speak to the situation now. We are in a very fluid situation. The whole thing is very uncertain at the moment. But I'm sure that by tomorrow we'll have a lot more.
All right, quickly, before I let you go, I know... Yeah, before I let you go, I know that the situation is fluid and we will be following up as to whatever comes up on this matter. But as a lawyer, I'm not talking now as a legal representation for Dele Farotimi. As a lawyer, what does the law says about defamation in Nigeria? Does the law allow for detention? What are the, and if it does, what is the time frame that somebody can be held for defamation until it is proven that this is actually the case?
Okay, so this question was asked earlier on when I had it, was asking another way. And I said very clearly that I wouldn't want to comment directly on this issue for a lot of reasons. I do have my opinion on these things. The question is that, do I even believe that defamation should be an offense? So there are lots of things to do. So I wouldn't want to comment on whether they have the power to arrest, whether the duration of punishment and all that. We're in court. And some of these questions are some of the questions that we put before the court to determine, right? Whatever laws we have, be it the criminal code or whatever, is subject to the Constitution. And the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria guarantees the right to freedom of expression, freedom of speech, and those rights should be protected. So I would, forgive me, I want to decline from addressing directly if how long the police should hold you, because the question is that, is there even a power to arrest or not to arrest? We want to leave all this to the court.
All right, I guess we should...
for the court, and we want to leave it that way.
All right, Ralph, thank you for speaking with us, and I'm sure we'll be coming back to you again tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
And one of our lead stories tonight, President Bola Tinubu of Nigeria and President Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa attended the 11th session of South Africa-Nigeria Binational Commission in Cape Town, South Africa. Both leaders were joined by a high-level delegation of ministers and senior government officials, underscoring the importance of the bilateral discussions and agreements aimed at strengthening ties between the two nations.
To galvanize support for the AU's Agenda 2063 as we pursue an inclusive global agenda as well. For South Africa, it is our view that in shaping global discourse, programs should be tailored to ensure that in our societies no one is left behind. The challenge of inequality, poverty, and unemployment also needs to be addressed front-end. Our premier continental organization, the African Union, will be having a change of leadership in its commission. As we approach the elections of the chairperson, the deputy chairperson, and commissioners at our summit early in the new year, we should emphasize the need for cohesion, unity, as well as a sense of purpose.
I'm very happy to share with you the joy of freedom and democracy. Because for us, historic responsibility that we discharged with pride and determination. As was expected, our effort put Nigeria on collision course with some powerful countries, but nevertheless, we were proud to be our brother's keeper, and that South Africa is our serious brother in such a critical time.
To discuss this, we're joined by a financial and public policy expert, Nick Agule. Nick, thank you for joining us. How will the implementation of the early warning mechanism ensure effective monitoring and prevention of attacks on Nigerian nationals in South Africa?
Thank you very much for welcoming me, and good evening to our viewers. Nigerians have suffered in the hands of South Africans over the years with xenophobic attacks that have led to countless loss of lives, businesses, and livelihoods. So it is a welcome development to hear that the President of Nigeria and his South African counterparts are looking into this matter. And how the early warning signs will work exactly is what is awaited, even though at the high level, the two leaders have made a commitment to it. The bottom line is that in these attacks Nigeria is the one who is at the short end of it. I cannot remember of any widespread incident in Nigeria where Nigerians are up in arms attacking South Africans. But it is a common thing to hear how South Africans attack Nigerians. If I should take the mind of viewers back, there was a time that it became so bad that APs, Mr. Onyema of AP sent aircraft down to South Africa to go and lift Nigerians out of South Africa. So for me, saying that you have established an early warning mechanism is not enough. Nigeria needs to tell South Africa that the lives of her citizens matter, and that we are not going to be tolerant of any nation that allows their citizens to attack Nigerians. This thing must be a diplomatic matter. It has got to a stage where Nigeria must show anger at what South Africans are doing to our nationals in South Africa. And there has to be diplomatic muscle flexing to send a direct message to South Africa that we are not going to tolerate even one more life of a Nigerian to be taken in cold blood in South Africa. A South Africa that we helped liberate from the apartheid system.
Nick.
So I think the message is not strong enough. President Tinubu needed to make a very firm and strong stand against what South Africans have been doing to Nigerians.
Anika, I was just going to press you to speak further on the president's interaction so far with the South African president. Do you think that there is still time for him to emphasize some of these issues you've raised as how Nigerians are treated there beyond this warning mechanism?
There is still time. If it is not within this window of the Nigeria-South Africa Binational Commission meeting, the 11th meeting they have had now, there are all other opportunities for Nigeria to make this position very strong. And the position should be so strong that if ever a Nigerian loses his or her life in South Africa, Nigeria should just recall her ambassador from South Africa and send the South African ambassador packing. I don't think there's any nation in the world that watches her citizens, murdered in cold blood, and what you respond with is an early warning sign without entering into a diplomatic route. You see what the government of Israel is doing, even though they are going over the top, but you see the kind of response that the government gives, to Hamas attacking Israeli citizens. Go and attack an American in South Africa and see what America will do. So for me, we've lost so many lives, and it's not just in South Africa. There are other nations like Ghana here, Ghana that we were also helping the other day. They are doing all sorts of kind of things to Nigerians. And the government must back her citizens anywhere. Government must be there for her citizens.
Nick, I'm trying to narrow it down. If you can hear me, Nick, I'm trying to interject to narrow it down to what is going on in South Africa at the moment. I'm asking, do you think there is still a window for Nigeria's president to press on issues that are more imperative in terms of treatment of Nigerian citizens specifically?
Yeah, of course. Like I said, there is a window. There's a window within this 11th Binational Commission meeting they are holding, but it's not limited to that. There are always diplomatic channels and windows where Nigeria can put her position about the treatment of her citizens in the Republic of South Africa on the table. South Africa has an ambassador with us in Nigeria. We have our own ambassador with them in South Africa. So that is diplomatic window open. We have been in diplomatic relations since 1994, which is 30 years running. And it's been a continuous relationship. So the windows are always open. It's about how much message, what is the weight of the message that Nigeria is passing to South Africa to say that we frown at what South Africans are doing to our citizens.
All right, Nick, we'll have to leave it there for now. Thank you for speaking with us. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much and have a good night.
You too, sir. Coming up, Senate confirms Oluyede as new Chief of Army Staff. We have details after the break. Do stay with us. If you've just joined us, you're watching Tonight. A reminder of our top stories. President Tinubu Ramaphosa seeks Nigeria-South Africa strategic partnership. Rowdy session erupts in House of Representatives over tax reform bills. Human rights lawyer Dele Farotimi arrested over defamation allegation. And Namibia elects first female president amid controversy. Thank you for staying with us. We now head to the Parliament. The Senate has confirmed the appointment of Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede as the substantive Chief of Army Staff during its plenary sitting on Tuesday. Oluyede's confirmation followed the adoption of the Committee on Armies report presented by its chairman, Senator Abdulaziz Yar'Adua. Lieutenant General Oluyede was appointed to act as the Chief of Army Staff following the illness and subsequent death of Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja. Yar'Adua informed the senators that Oluyede demonstrated an in-depth understanding of the nation's security challenges and solutions. The lawmaker noted that Oluyede impressed the committee with his high level of understanding, achievement, and excellence as outlined in his credentials.
Having diligently and meticulously conducted the screening of the nominee according to the Constitution and being satisfied with his conduct, competence, experience, and educational qualification, hereby recommend to the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as follows: that Lieutenant General Olufemi Olatubosun Oluyede be confirmed as the Chief of Army Staff, having successfully undergone the screening process of this committee.
Distinguished colleagues, will the Senate confirm the nomination of Lieutenant General Olufemi Olatubosun Oluyede for appointment as Chief of Army Staff? Those in support of the confirmation say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Lieutenant General Olufemi Olatubosun Oluyede is hereby confirmed as Chief of Army Staff. Successes and progress, and do hope and pray that through this appointment, insecurity will be abated or minimized to the barest minimum, and Nigeria shall know peace.
Away from the Parliament, President Bola Tinubu has directed the Federal Ministry of Justice and the National Assembly to address concerns regarding the tax bills. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, said in a statement on Tuesday. The move comes after criticisms from some governors and traditional rulers who argue that the bills target impoverishing some states, especially in the north. The minister said the government welcomes meaningful inputs to address grey areas in the bill and is committed to accountability to the Nigerian people. The Minister of Information and National Orientation dismissed claims that the bills target impoverishing some states, labeling them as fake news and misinformation. Let's go back a bit to the Parliament. A tense session unfolded in the House of Representatives on Tuesday as Aki Rotimi, the Chamber spokesman, declared support for President Tinubu's tax reform bills. Representing Ekiti State, Rotimi stated his caucus unanimously endorsed the controversial bills, sparking loud protest from lawmakers. Repeated attempts by Speaker Tajuddin Abbas to restore order failed forcing Rotimi to withdraw his remarks. Abbas clarified that Rotimi was expressing a personal opinion and urged lawmakers to focus on the substantive matter. Separately, Kanu lawmaker Tijani Gali accused the deputy spokesman, Philip Agbase, of misrepresenting opposition to the bills and called for his resignation. The matter was referred to the Ethics and Privileges Committee for investigation.
Introduction does not affect the substantive matter, sir.
Restrict yourself to what you order, please. He was just taken on a light note. Please, let us not take it serious. Colleagues are back. Please, I beg you.
Mr. Speaker, I rise on behalf of Honorable Boma Goodhead. Mr. Speaker, I rise on behalf of Honorable Boma Goodhead. Mr. Speaker.
Order, please.
Mr.
Order,
Speaker,
order.
Protected, Mr. Speaker.
He's expressing his personal opinion. Please go ahead, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Order,
Mr.
order,
Speaker,
please.
I am protected. Honorable colleagues, I am protected.
The Minister for the Federal Capital Territory has flagged off the construction of the 9.8 kilometers Kabusa-Takushara road construction within the Abuja Municipal Area Council. The minister assured that the road will be completed in the next 6 months, saying it will help tackle insecurity and provide farmers with the means to transport farming produce from their farms. Amadine Uyi reports.
It was the commencement of another series of flag-offs as part of the FCT administration's commitment to providing infrastructural development to the capital. Citizens of Kabusa came out in their numbers to welcome officials of the FCT administration as a sign of their gratitude. The Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, says that the event is significant as part of efforts to give hope back to citizens.
What we're doing today is what the Renewed Hope agenda is all about. Give hope back to our people. I'm sure the people of Kabusa and Takushara may have lost hope that this road would not be done. But to the glory of God and by the coming in of the President, Ahmed Bola Tinubu, it's a different story.
While officials gave details of the road project, some others say the road, when completed, will bring immense benefits to citizens.
The FCT administration has awarded the construction of Kabusa to Takushara access road. This access road is a 9.8 kilometer road that connects several communities. Communities like from Kabusa to the next village is Cheta, to Tasha, to Sauka, and then to Takushara.
The importance of this road construction can never be overemphasized. It will help in tackling security challenges along this axis will improve.
An indigenous of FCT, I am aware that the residents of Kabusa and Takushara had the years prayed and longed earnestly for the construction of this road. But today, we give God all the glory for answering our prayers.
The minister assured the residents that the current administration is committed to fulfilling promises it has made to citizens.
Let Nigerians hear that once a government has made a promise, the government is obliged to fulfill the promise. Is that not correct? And I can assure you, it is not about flagging up project. In the next 6-7 months, I want to assure you we are going to commission this project.
He also warned the residents of the community to be wary of disgruntled elements who are out to spread misinformation and deceive gullible citizens. In Abuja for News Central, I am Amadine Uyi.
We congratulate you for sharing in the joy.
The inclusion of persons with disabilities, not just in the society in general, but also in leadership roles, is the focal point of this year's International Day for Persons with Disabilities. This community of special persons are once again reiterating the need to be ably represented in leadership positions so that their voices can be heard and their contributions considered. Our correspondent Bernard Akede tells us more in this report.
The International Day of Persons with Disabilities is celebrated on the 3rd of December every year, and Oluwakemi believes it is a day set aside for the rest of the world to understand that persons with disabilities are a part of the community and should be treated as such.
The International Disability Day means visibility, means empowerment, means inclusion for me, because when it comes to managerial positions or high-ranking positions, you can count how many persons with disability, and it's even more damaging when you talk about women with disabilities in leadership positions.
Over the years, the clamor for inclusion of persons with disabilities has grown louder. However, this year, the focus is moving to leadership with the theme amplifying the leadership of persons with disabilities for an inclusive and sustainable future. Bolaniwa believes persons with disabilities have constantly been denied leadership positions, even where clearly deserved.
And when you look at the political scene too, you see that no matter how effective a person with disability would have contributed to the maybe the election, the emergency of a particular candidate in an election, the best leadership position to give to such a person is to make that person whether a special advisor on disability or the head of a disability organization, agency of government.
But there seems to be hope. The Provision for Persons with Disabilities Act practically addresses the inclusion issue. The Act provides that the government shall promote the interest of persons with disabilities in politics, and by extension, there should be possibilities of being given leadership positions. But it doesn't end there.
You know, when it comes to leadership, we're talking of managerial position, high-ranking position. Persons with disability, you can count on your finger. Like off my head right, and I can count about maybe like 5. And if you look at it, they are even all men that have disability. And I know the struggle it took them to even attain that position.
With the right education, persons with disabilities will be able to live normal lives and compete for equal chances.
Let's do away with this parochial, or would I say cultural beliefs that discriminate against persons with disability, that they can never do well, or they are objects of persons to be governed. Because you are even talking about leadership position. Even when it comes to making choice, some believe I cannot even make a rational choice for yourself.
But I like to say I'm blind because I can't see anything, right? And I have a laptop before me. I can operate it. That is the use of software. And I also can move around with the white cane. And I also can speak. I can ask for assistance where I need to ask for assistance. And for instance, maybe I'm going through a website and the website is accessible. I can use my laptop keystrokes to ensure that it navigates effectively. This also happens to persons with other impairment.
With voices like these leading the way, the message is clear. Inclusion is not a favor, it's a necessity. In Lagos for News Central, I'm Bernard Akede.
Not a favor, but a necessity. To discuss this further, we're joined by the chairman, Lagos Chapter, Albinism Association of Nigeria, Tolani Ojuri. Tolani, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Where are we with addressing inclusion of persons living with disabilities?
We are not anywhere there yet. It's so far from what we experienced. The laws are there, and stakeholders, the government, the private sector just keep talking about it. The percentage is still very, very low. It's still well below 20%. Because we're talking about inclusion, we're talking about education, we're talking about the workplace, having persons with disability being able to function in the normal day-to-day life, in the environment, in the decision-making process, either at work, at school, at places of worship, and all that. Inclusion is like I'm deaf and I get into a place of worship I should be able to follow through with whatever is going on there. But the way it is now, if I walk into a place, if a deaf person walks into a place, if there's no sign language interpreter on ground, that means that person is shut out of whatever is going on in that environment. So just imagine going to parties, going to other fun places. So that's still a long way from what it should be. Yes, we have the laws, we have all the laws we need, but practical everyday life, we are not there.
You know, as we were talking, I was thinking, Nigeria is a big place, but you are domiciled in Lagos. What would be your assessment of how government is including persons with disabilities, and what specific areas do you think need special attention?
Lagos is a center of excellence, is always a pace setter. We have the Lagos State Special People's Law 2010, and it was even after that that we have the Dictionary Person with Disability Act, that's at the federal level, and some states are yet to adopt that. Lagos, yes, we have it. We have Lagos Office of Disability Affairs that's supposed to take care of all these things. We're still, the key area where we need much attention is the area of health. Access to health. The law makes provision for free health care for persons with disability. That's the deaf, the blind, the persons with albinism, persons with intellectual disability. Free health care. You just look around you, our primary health care system, our tertiary health care system, what are they like? Even if you don't have a disability, you walk into those healthcare facility, it's always a tug of war getting treatment. So how much more you are a person with disability getting access to? Yes, there are pockets of intervention here and there, but it should go round. We want the systems and structures in place. Yes, Lagos State government made provisions for persons with albinism because we have a peculiarity with skin cancer. There was a special intervention, but that intervention should cut across. We want it whereby the deaf have the same thing, the blind have the same thing, because we just don't want to wait till the disability comes up. There should be early intervention. There should be prevention. Those structures should be there. I don't want to wait till when it now sets in before we now have to get these things done. Everybody doesn't need to get to the general hospital before they have their eyes checked. We have the primary health care centers. So all these structures should be well funded, and even the staff at these facilities should be trained from time to time, because some of them, they still go on the pity party lane. When they see you, they see a blind person pregnant, they keep asking them, who got you pregnant, how, so you have, and sometimes just don't blame them. Sometimes I walk into a facility and they're asking me, can you see? Are you sure you can see? I'm like, yes, I got here myself, I drove here myself, and of course I can. Okay, I'm told there's no more question, but just in 30 seconds, if you can, the leadership position is one way that you can effectively push for these needs for people with disabilities. How quickly do you think persons with disabilities can get into leadership positions in this country? And it goes both ways. It will not be handed over to persons with disability on a platter. Persons with disability, their parents too, should start from the very early age. Start coaching your children, no matter what the disability is. Start coaching your children, and of course, the world will make way for you, because there's nothing for us without us. If you're not there when those things are being made, then there's nothing for you. So if you are a parent or a guardian, and you have a kid with disability, start training that child from a very early age. And as time goes on, I'm sure we will achieve what we are really pushing for today. 5-10 years from now, I'm sure we won't be here. I hope so too. Tolani, thank you for speaking with us. You're welcome. Still ahead, Namibia elect first female president amid controversy. We have details after the break. Don't go away. Glad you're still with us. We head now to the southern part of the continent, where Namibia's Vice President, Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, has won the presidential election with 57.31% of the votes, the Electoral Commission announced Tuesday.
Banduleni Itula of the opposition IPC trailed with 25.5%. Nandi Ndaitwa, who is 72 years old, becomes the first woman to lead the mineral-rich nation governed by SWAPO since independence in 1990. The election faced controversy, with the IPC rejecting the results, citing irregularities. Voting on November 27 was extended twice due to logistic challenges, including ballot shortages and long delays, forcing some voters to abandon the process after waiting up to 12 hours. Despite the challenges, Nandi Ndaitwa's victory marks a historic moment for Namibia and its political landscape. Let's head on now to our news desk for today's update.
Business news in association with Money Master PSB, the easy way to master your money.
In business, dollar turnover increased by 61.9% year-on-year to $43.09 billion in the first 11 months of 2024 at the Nigerian foreign exchange market. This is up from $26.6 billion in 2023. Quarterly data from FMDQ showed a decline in turnover from $12.64 billion in Q1 to $10.24 billion in Q2 and $10.15 billion in Q3. The Naira appreciated by 0.16% to 1,672.69 kobo per dollar in NAFEM, but appreciated by 0.5% in the parallel market. The Central Bank of Nigeria's Monetary Policy Committee expressed concerns over ongoing exchange rate pressures and urged measures to enhance market liquidity. The International Monetary Fund announced that Ghana is on track to achieve a 0.5% primary surplus of GDP despite spending pressures from a recent dry spell and energy sector challenges. Following the third review of Ghana's 36-month extended credit facility, the IMF emphasized the government's commitment to fiscal consolidation, aiming for a 1.5% surplus by 2025. The IMF also approved a $360 million disbursement, bringing total funds received to $1.92 billion, which is expected to bolster the economy and support the city's recovery. And in Southern Africa, South Africa's economy unexpectedly contracted by 0.3% in the third quarter, primarily due to a 28.8% slump in the agricultural sector, the largest decline in 3 decades. Statistics South Africa reported this decline compared to a previous growth of 0.3%. For the first 9 months of the year, GDP expanded by 0.4%. The contraction has raised concerns for President Cyril Ramaphosa's administration, as South Africa's economic growth has averaged less than 1% over the past decade, lagging behind population growth. And finally, in North Africa, the African Development Bank's Board of Directors has approved a loan of up to $170 million for the 1.1 gigawatt Suez Wind project, Egypt's largest wind energy initiative, which has a total estimated cost of $1.1 billion. The project received the golden license from the Egyptian cabinet, offering incentives to expedite its development. It will generate 4,111 gigawatts per hour annually, providing clean energy to over 1 million households and reducing carbon emissions by 1.71 million tons. This initiative aligns with Egypt's goal of achieving 42% renewable energy by 2030. And that's our offering on business news at this time. Thank you for watching. I am Perpetua Fasami Peter. The news continues shortly.
Business news in association with Money Master PSB, the easy way to master your money.
Up next is sports.
Sports Update, brought to you by Corn Oil. Corn Oil, we go the extra mile.
Ahead of the Men's Junior AP Fencing World Cup in Lagos, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has confirmed its registration for the International Fencing Federation Ranking Tournament. The tournament is scheduled to take place from the 14th to the 15th of December at the prestigious Charterhouse School in Lagos. Saudi Arabia joins other countries like Hong Kong, Benin Republic, Togo, Ghana, Egypt, and Greece, who have already confirmed their participation. Egypt has the highest number of entries, with 8, while Nigeria will be represented by 7 fencers. Director of Education at Charterhouse Lagos, John Todd, expressed excitement about Nigeria hosting the event and emphasized the school's commitment to promoting fencing in the country. The Nigeria Table Tennis Federation will hold a 2-day national coaching seminar from the 17th to the 18th of December at the ASEP Pro Limited in Mowe, Ogun State. The event, themed Leadership and Management Skills, aims to enhance Nigerian table tennis coaches' abilities with a focus on empowering female coaches in line with the International Table Tennis Federation's Gender Equality, Diversity, and Inclusion Initiative. The seminar is part of a Sports and Leadership Bootcamp and the third stage of the 2024 My Gender, My Strength program, supported by Nigeria Table Tennis Federation. Speakers will address key topics to help coaches develop talent and foster high-performance players. Nigeria is currently second in Africa behind Egypt in the men's and women's teams ranking. Major League Soccer club FC Cincinnati have extended the contract of Nigeria midfielder Obinna Nwobodo for 1 more year. The former Flying Eagles star, who also played for Rangers International of Enugu, joined the MLS side from Turkish club Göztepe in 2022. Nwobodo, who has made 80 appearances and scored twice for the club, is the biggest earning Nigerian star in the MLS. Nwobodo was part of the victorious Rangers team that won the Nigeria Premier Football League trophy in 2017. Head coach Bankole Olowokere has called up 25 players to the camp of the Nigeria's Under-17 Women's National Team, the Flamingos, ahead of the WAFU B Under-17 Girls Cup competition taking place in Ghana from the 12th to the 26th of December 2024. The list includes many of the players who featured at the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup in October. The Flamingos have been drawn in Group B of the 2-week 6-team competition alongside the Under-17 girls of Cote d'Ivoire and Niger Republic. All invited players will camp at the Remo Stars FC camp in Ikene, Remo, Ogun State. And that's a wrap on Sport Update. I am Udoka Njoko.
Sports Update, brought to you by Corn Oil. Corn Oil, we go the extra mile.
Up next is entertainment.
Entertainment news in association with Glow Unlimited.
And now in entertainment tonight. Rolling Stone has just dropped its coveted list of the top 100 albums of 2024. And guess what? 4 African superstars made the cut. At the forefront of this African wave is none other than South Africa's Tyla. Her self-titled album Tyla snagged the 6th spot, making her the highest-ranking African artist on the list. But our Nigerian icons were not left behind. Coming at number 11, we have Rema's latest project, He Is. This album continues his streak of global dominance, cementing him as one of the biggest voices in Afrobeats. Not far behind is the queen of soulful vibes, Tems, whose critically acclaimed album, Born in the Wild, lands at number 37. The project has been praised for its depth, bold storytelling, and genre-defying sound. And of course, celestial goddess herself, Ira Star, shines bright at number 53 with her latest album. Known for her infectious energy and relatable lyrics, Ira continues to inspire and connect with fans worldwide. With these groundbreaking achievements, Rema, Tems, Ira Star, and Tyla are flying the African flag high and proving that the continent's music isn't just a trend, it's a global movement. On the international scene, legendary singer-songwriter Elton John has opened up about his struggle with vision loss during the opening night of his new musical, The Devil Wears Prada, at London's Dominion Theatre on Sunday. Addressing the audience, John, who's 77, had this to say.
I haven't been able to come to many of the previews because, as you know, I've lost my eyesight, so it's hard for me to see it, but I love to hear it. And boy, it sounded good tonight, okay? Thank you for coming and supporting the family.
In September, John disclosed on Instagram that the condition was healing, albeit slowly, and it would take time for his sight to fully return. John composed the score for The Devil Wears Prada, a stage adaptation of the 2006 film about the high-stakes world of fashion journalism. The production stars Vanessa Williams as a formidable editor, Miranda Priestley, a role famously portrayed by Meryl Streep in the film.
Entertainment news in association with Glow Unlimited.
That's all we have for you tonight, but before we go, let's take another look at some of the major stories. President Tinubu Ramaphosa seek Nigeria-South Africa strategic partnership. Rowdy session erupts in House of Representatives over tax reform bills. Human rights lawyer Dele Farotimi arrested over defamation allegation. We also brought you news that Namibia has elected its first female president amid controversy. Many thanks for watching. Have a good night.